Breaking news to tell you about here at 5. We now know the body found earlier this week in Laurel County is suspected highway shooter Joseph Couch. Good evening. I'm Connie Leonard. The Kentucky State Medical Examiner confirmed the results today. Couch is accused of shooting 5 people on September 7th on Interstate 75. After a manhunt spanning almost 2 weeks, a couple found his body in the forest. It was also confirmed his cause of death was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, the official autopsy won't be released until toxicology reports come back. An investigation tonight into LMPD's former police chief finds she violated her own department's policy. The report details how Jacqueline Gwen Villaroel handled the allegations of sexual harassment from command staff that later led to her resignation. WHAS11's Travis Breeze joins us now with those findings. Travis, a lot to look over today, right?
Yes, it was a 157-page report that included interviews from more than 10 LMPD commanders, including the now current chief, Paul Humphrey. Investigator David Byer ultimately concluded that former chief Jacqueline Gwen Villaroel did violate department policy with how she handled these allegations that came out in May. The allegations of sexual harassment from LMPD Major Shannon Lauder first came to light during an impromptu May 22nd meeting called by Gwen Villaroel. During the meeting, Major Lauder accused Major Brian Curriger of sexually harassing and attacking her. Curriger was assigned to investigate Lauder and her husband in a separate sexual harassment investigation, which was going on at the same time. An independent investigation cleared Curriger of any wrongdoing in that investigation or ever harassing Lauder at any point. After Lauder's statement, Gwen Villaroel moved within that May 22nd meeting to say that Curriger had a pending promotion, and she then addressed Lauder's claims.
Major Lauder, I've heard your concerns, and I understand that you cannot, and so we have to visit on the status moving forward.
Yes, ma'am. I know now's not a good time to bring it up, but I didn't want you to say that, later that I didn't bring it up. So sorry I had to come out in this way.
We got to keep moving the department forward, but I have heard your concern. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The report's finding focus on Gwen Villaroel's decision to continue that meeting. It says, quote, the perception left with many, including Major Lauder, was the chief was being dismissive of her accusation. Gwen Villaroel stated she was taken off guard by the accusations, but decided to move forward with her agenda for the meeting to announce those promotions. The report concluded Gwen Villaroel's actions, quote, adversely affected the morale of the department, adversely affected or lowered the public's respect and confidence in the department. It found her conduct, quote, unbecoming, a violation of department policy. Byer's report concluded no additional disciplinary action was needed since Gwen Villaroel resigned in June, and the unfavorable media coverage, he said, was also sufficient. Connie?
All right, Travis, thank you so much. Now, in a statement, Mayor Craig Greenberg said between updating and clarifying sexual harassment definitions to establishing new reporting options and mandatory staff trainings, LMPD has taken meaningful steps to ensure employees who allege sexual harassment receive more support. He says he accepts the report's findings and considers the matter closed. And you can read the full investigative report on WHAS11.com. Tonight, a Letcher County District Judge is dead after authorities say the county sheriff shot and killed him in the judge's chambers. It happened yesterday. Kentucky State Police say District Judge Kevin Mullins died from multiple gunshot wounds after Sheriff Sean Steins shot him. Tonight, Steins is in jail as police work to understand a motive, and the small eastern Kentucky town tries to process what happened.
Me and my legal assistant were here in my office. She was about ready to go get a file, and we just saw cars flying by. So we went outside, and then automatically it was like there was a shooting. So we walked down and sat across from it, and I'm still in shock. It's unreal.
Today, Isaiah Kim Martinez and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton spoke with attorneys and former judges here in Louisville, also still processing this news.
Well, it didn't take long for attorneys and former judges here in Louisville to hear about this news, disturbed by the fact that this kind of violence could happen in the courthouse, a place they say they almost always feel safe.
Not only affects judges, it affects the court system as a whole.
Retired District Court Judge Janice Martin, like so many who've worked in the judicial system across Kentucky, is deeply troubled by the violence that played out in that Eastern Kentucky courthouse.
I'm very saddened and horrified about the event because I'm sure that's a very traumatic event for all of those people that were involved.
Letcher County District Judge Kevin Mullins shot and killed in his own chambers, and authorities believe it was the sheriff, Sean Steins, who pulled the trigger and shot him multiple times. Investigators are trying to confirm a motive. Matt Butler, the state prosecutor for the area, on Facebook sharing his personal connection to the judge.
His daughters are my nieces, and that my two oldest kids are his niece and nephew.
There are questions surrounding a federal lawsuit against Sheriff Steins, accused of turning a blind eye to one of his deputies sexually abusing a woman in that same judge's chambers.
It would be a locked area, and only the judge and his staff would have access to that.
Mullins died at the scene, and Steins surrendered to authorities. A KSP spokesperson says the sheriff is charged with first-degree murder. Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS11, on your side.
Kentucky Attorney General Russell Coleman says his office will work with the Commonwealth's attorney in London, Kentucky as the special prosecutor in this case. The man accused of running from police inside a Walmart and then attempting to carjack a woman outside the store was visibly emotional as he stood before a judge today. Randall Allen was crying as an LMPD detective took the stand during his hearing today. The detective testified to the facts of the case, all caught on this body cam footage. Allen was allegedly in a car chase with police when it ended in a crash on the outer loop. He ran inside the Walmart where police followed. Police say he then jumped in the car of the woman in line at the pharmacy window.
Pointing the gun, trying to keep her hostage in the car. Based on the context that this happened in, it sounds like Mr. Allen's intention was to get away from police. He's not demanding any money, her wallet, phone. He's not trying to get her out of the car so that he can take the car himself. He's trying to get away from police.
Despite that argument, a judge did find probable cause for all charges, including unlawful imprisonment. Allen was out on bond in another case when this occurred, so the judge kept his bond at $50,000. All right, it is a hot one out there today. Been so many activities going on, and I thought it felt really hot this afternoon compared to yesterday.
Yeah, you got it. Up to 93 this afternoon, Connie. So it's going to be very warm out there for our Friday night football, obviously, Bourbon and beyond. Just got to take it easy. Right now, 92 degrees, 89 at Bowman Field. And we have a little more humidity that we're adding to the equation for this weekend as well. So definitely a summertime feel out there for our final weekend of summer, really kind of half and half weekend, as Saturday is summertime and Sunday is the beginning of autumn. Right now, lower 90s across Metro Louisville and through much of the area, right at 90 in Madison, Indiana. Litchfield, Hodgenville, all sharing 90 degrees and dry conditions. If you look closely to our northwest, there's a couple of showers and thunderstorms moving through central Illinois, northern Indiana. As that boundary moves our direction, there's a slight chance of a shower later on tonight and for tomorrow as it kind of parks over the area. But most of us will stay dry in the 80s for much of this evening. Overnight lows in the 70s, so more humid overnight. And a hot one again tomorrow in the lower 90s and just about a 20% chance of a pop-up shower. For this evening, warm out there for the Bats game. First pitch 7:15, temps in the 80s and dry out there as they take on the Storm Chasers again. More humid tonight, 73 degrees, 86 at noon tomorrow, and just the slightest chance of a pop-up shower or storm tomorrow. More hot sunshine with a high of 93 degrees. We're going to look ahead to a higher chance of rain early next week and then a cool down later in the 7-day coming up.